don't want to do this review anymore, guys. I think I'm gonna cry just by talking about it. I mean, it's a happy ending. It's what we wanted, right? But it just feels so sad. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the final review of 2521. The finale, oh man, just non-stop. From beginning to end, non-stop sadness and heartbreaking. And there were times where they wanted to make a certain scene happy, you know, to have both sides be mutual, understandable. But you just can't help but think of sadness because these two are not together at the end. Alright, let's not beat around the bush. If I tear up during this interview, I apologize because this story was just so perfect, so good. And yeah, let's get to it. So to start off the episode, they started it off with a little bit of sadness, and that's just part one of the sadness throughout the entire episode. So YiJin is in New York. Again, we already know that he's going through some pain after seeing other people suffering through their pain. He has a conversation with a firefighter, and these two can relate in the grieving and it makes you want to quit your job. But the firefighter tells YiJin that may be true, but it's the career path that he chose. You're there to do your job and move on. And then in the next scene, more sadness. HeeDo won't be in Korea because she has competitions back to back, and YiJin applied for a correspondent in New York and he gets it. In the trailer, it does show YiJin making history, and it's him being a correspondent at a very young age. And just the phone call between HeeDo and YiJin, just feeling the emotion coming out from this. And you can already tell that they're definitely going to break up. Next, we get a time skip 2 months later. This is where it's going to hurt. But before I talk about YiJin and HeeDo, I want to talk about two things first. Number one, Jiyoung having dinner with Yurum's parents. Very cute. And number two, the first time YiJin sees Seungwon in 2 months, she's drunk. So both HeeDo and YiJin are in Korea. They both got their suitcases switched at the airport. At this point, they haven't seen each other in 2 months. So YiJin drops off HeeDo's suitcase at her house, and these two come face to face. You can already tell by the situation. You can already tell by listening to the music, the vibe of the scene. We all know where this is headed. Not only us viewers, but also HeeDo and YiJin know too. Out of everything that they said to each other in that scene, four lines I should say, pop out the most. This love isn't supporting me anymore. I want to stop. This is where we first met, and this is where it's gonna end. And they just break up. And remember, this is still the beginning of the finale. It's like what, the first 15 minutes of the episode? We're not even halfway through yet. And then after they both canceled their couple's plan, this is where they really get into an argument, like a real one. YiJin explains how when he was suffering, he didn't want to complain. HeeDo said, whatever is yours is ours. We're going to share it. Whatever is your problem, it's our problem. But YiJin did not want to drag her down because of him. HeeDo even said to YiJin, she grew up with a mom who skipped out on her husband's funeral, and now she dated a guy who acts like her, and she didn't want that to be her future. She even asked, is it that hard to understand? And then it gets crazier when she said, have you even loved me? And YiJin was like, oh, you better watch your mouth. And how am I supposed to respond to that? Like, just reviewing it hurts. You know, YiJin and HeeDo have argued in the past before, like little arguments. But this is a big one. This is their biggest argument. And I'm talking about back to back, not on the same page, not wanting to hurt each other, but at the same time, they feel like they're burdens to each other. But the sadness train does not stop there. Next, HeeDo's diary. So we get the full backstory on what happened to it. So first, HeeDo went to the hospital because she fainted. She definitely overworked herself. There was an article about someone spotting Kim Tae-ri at the hospital. And in my opinion, I thought, you know, minche. But It was for something else. Now, while in the hospital, she wrote in the diary that she didn't mean everything that she said to YiJin, and she didn't want to end their relationship the way they did, just back and forth hating on each other. Then in the next scene, she left the diary in the bus. So that is the missing diary. And then YiJin receives a package, and inside is HeeDo's diary. The reason it was sent to him because his ID is in it. So my theory was right. YiJin had the missing diary. But I did have a theory on him keeping it. He didn't keep it for too long. But the story of the diary doesn't stop there until we get the current time, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Now it's time for both HeeDo and YiJin to say their goodbyes. So it was the day that YiJin is going to move to New York. Both HeeDo and YiJin realized that they didn't want to end things the way they did. So after realizing it, they both ran to find each other. They both met up at the bus stop, and after exchanging some words and YiJin trying to tie HeeDo's laces, they cried, they hugged, and they said their final goodbyes. Just knowing their history, how they met, how they became friends, how they became a couple, seeing them act like a very cute couple, and just seeing them say their goodbye, I mean, how can you not cry? Now we get another time skip 7 years later. We are in 2009 now, and a lot happened. Number one, HeeDo's mom decided to retire as an anchor and chose YiJin to replace her. Seungwon is an assistant director for a variety show. Jiyoung owns his own clothing brand. Yudim retired from fencing and opened a fencing club, and HeeDo decided to retire from fencing, so the 2009 competition was her last one. Let's not forget, Jiyoung proposed to Yudim. That was really cute, and I like how he did it. And Eyeon, YiJin's brother, had one hell of a glow up, and Seungwon definitely likes. Oh, let's not forget, Seungwon's father also passed away. Jiyoung, Yudim, and HeeDo both came to the funeral. YiJin did come, but he came a little bit later than everyone else. And then after that, we see a couple of scenes leading up to the 2009 interview, which we already seen in episode 14. During that interview, we get flashbacks of both HeeDo's and YiJin's time together. Now to end the episode, we jump into current time. Min-chae is outside reading an article about her mom's retirement. She's in front of the bookstore. The owner of the bookstore was just cleaning out some stuff. He found a package with HeeDo's name on it and remembered that YiJin gave it to him to give it to HeeDo, but he never did. So all those years, from what, 2002? He had it for 20 years. So Min-chae finally got the missing diary, but she didn't read it. She gave it back to her mom. And this is where Min-chae tells her mom that she wants to do ballet again. All of the emotions that HeeDo experienced while fencing, she wants to experience the same thing, but doing ballet, which I thought was really awesome of her to do. Now, while HeeDo was looking through the diary, she found a message written by YiJin on the last page. And this is where YiJin says that he didn't mean everything that he said to her, and he was really sorry. After that, we hear both HeeDo and YiJin narrate how they both meant a lot to each other and how both of them were there for each other since the very beginning. And then they say their goodbyes, their final goodbyes at the tunnel. And that's it on the episode. Now, I know there's going to be some people who are not going to like the ending. Understandable, you want YiJin and HeeDo to be together in current time. Matter of fact, we all want them to be together in current time. But remember, the story is about a group of friends. It's about being in a relationship. It's about growing apart as time goes on. And also, it's about the moments that you have with the people that you love and care about. Yes, it's not going to last forever, but it's something that you will always remember. First, I want to give my thoughts on the finale. Would I change anything? Other than that, would I change anything else? No, I would have left the episode the way it did because the storyline is so relatable. In your lives, you're going to make friends. You're going to be in relationships. You're going to have amazing moments with these people. Now, will these moments last forever? Physically? No. But it's going to be moments that you will treasure, and it will last forever in your memories. You know, it would have been nice to know where are the other characters are at in current time. Like, is YiJin still an anchor? Is Ji-young still owning his own clothing brand? Did he expand it into a huge franchise? What about Yudim's fencing club? Did she expand that to a franchise? You know, stuff like that. And Seungwon, is she married to YiJin's brother? You never know. Now my thoughts on the drama. Would you be surprised if I gave 2521 a 10 out of 10? Would you be surprised if I said I recommend this drama to anyone? And would you be surprised if I said that 2521 is the top drama of 2022 by far? If you guys are not surprised by that and you agree with me, then we just became best friends. There are 3 things I want to point out. First, I love the characters. Each character had their own personality, their own backstory. The writing made you care for them. It made you want every character to have a good ending. It was almost like they were real. It was almost like they were your best friends. Also, you cried for them. You cheered for them. You might have hated them at one point, but then at the end, you loved them. Second, the 90s. I was a kid in the 90s, and I'm showing a little bit of my age here. But yeah, I was a kid in the 90s. I grew up with cassette tapes and phone booths and the 90s fashion and music. So just seeing all of that in this drama just felt so nostalgic to me. Next, the story. I loved it. I just enjoyed watching the love story of the past. I enjoyed the obstacles that HeeDo and YiJin had to overcome. I enjoyed seeing how certain events led to HeeDo and YiJin being together, how they first met, how they became friends, how they liked each other, how they became a couple, and even how they split up. Here's the thing about the storyline. Prior to episode maybe 13 or 14, we didn't know if the ending was a happy or a sad one. We had theories, many of them. And at the end, we just all wanted a happy ending. And we got it, but at the same time, it just feels sad. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the episode and my review. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. Before I end the video, I just want to say thank you so much for enjoying watching my review on every episode of 2521. You guys already know I had a blast watching this drama. This drama was just so good. And everyone involved in this drama, the actors, producers, writers, directors, even people part of the production, they all did an amazing job. Leave in the comments below what you guys thought about the finale, what you guys thought about the drama. I loved it. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Other than that, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.